Evening everybody, and welcome to another Meccano Maker System set video. You're probably not surprised about this one because it's the other one that was introduced first of all under the multi-models range, probably now more than 5 or 6 months ago this year, around that time. Now I've made 5 of the models from boxes sets under the multi-models branding. Yet to get round to doing any video or even any static post reviews on the models. We've got 5 models made. I've got the instructions for the other 5. The only change is one I heard that the finish to the black parts was going to be more gloss than, well, matte really, satin at best. We'll check that out in a minute, but obviously you can see the box design has changed, and I just so happen to have one of those that I made earlier here. Now it's perhaps not, it's alright comparing these two sets like for like, there's no problem with that at all. Best as I can tell so far, there's nothing changed. That's the original multi-models boxing, and as you can see there, the like fighter jet on the front of that one. The A model now is the stealth bomber, or perhaps big wing. I think stealth bomber is probably more relevant this day and age. But it's a bit different from a Vulcan, I suppose. But as it happens, so far, well, it's been a while since I made some of them. The models are, I don't think there's any real issues really. Some slight changes, I'd have done things a little bit differently, you know, but the models as a whole, I can't really say I've had much issue with, but I'll leave the models themselves to later videos, or maybe just one video. It may be that we can take this set review as the same as the other one. We'll just have to confirm a couple of things. But I will show you one model ready made, and here we are, the big wing, or stealth bomber. I think the only issue with this one was alignment with the bolt through that holds the canopy on the top, but as I say, I'll go into all that with much more detail later. It's not a bad size model. It's weighty, nice to have the flexible plates in, black, very useful, but I dare say you can see there, contrasted against the zinc plated parts, it's rather flat, matte, ever so slightly rough. It does give them a sort of a cardboard feel in a way, like that, or fibre, like the original fibre plates back in the what, early 30s, blue and gold, but they're not, they're metal. A neat model. I can't remember if there's any major issues with it now, as I can't really remember anything. It's odds on that there weren't, but I won't go into the model too much. But there you see the model, it's a decent size, weight, all nicely proportioned, will look good on my personal air show in the front room. None of the aviation models, whether it's planes, aircraft, even space for that matter, none will get taken apart, and they'll all be hung, or rather one of each will be hung on the ceiling, rather as we used to do in your bedroom with your Airfix models. Now there is one I have taken apart by mistake. I shall have to build that one again. That's the 3 model set, multi-model set helicopter. But and there'll be 10 red arrows eventually when I get round to it. But anyway, I waffle on too much as usual. So here we are then, $19.99, same price as the previous set. But as I say, it's perhaps best not. I say best not. It's human nature to compare a 10 model set with another 10 model set. But for reasons beyond our control, I suppose, and it's hard to put into words really. There's certain perhaps business reasons why one set looks or feels more better value for money. Therefore, sometimes it's not perhaps fair to compare directly with an older, in this case 10 model set. Sorry about the sirens. I've done nothing wrong, honest. So while it is human nature, and indeed, as you can see on Meccano's Home and other forums, we all do. We all compare like for like. I've compared my Land Rover that currently with my old one, although it's still under the same Land Rover and model name. The only thing I can really see different with this set, as we look at it now, is the artwork. Price is the same, parts number's the same, but of course this was one of the first sets, this and the 3 model set, introduced under the new ownership, and I think it would have probably been better not to have issued these sets in the multi-models branding. Maybe it would have been better to hold back any new sets till, well, now July, August, when we've all known for some time, sort of August, things are going to start filtering through. Indeed they have, rather with a bit of a glut actually. Still waiting on anybody selling the space set. So anyway, in short, it may be best not to, well, not always best, but sometimes it may not be a perfect comparison with 2 different sets, even though it might be 2 10 sets, 2 3 sets, 2 15 model sets, whatever. I must admit, aircraft isn't really my sort of thing in Meccano. I've made a few, mind, helicopters just lately, I think, to the fore, but I think the nice thing about this this set is the models are, I don't know what the word is, whether it's quirky, interesting, intriguing, certainly a little bit different, maybe 1 or 2 slightly old-fashioned perhaps. Certainly the stealth bomber's fairly modern, and the fighter does sort of look a bit modern typhoony perhaps. Maybe even tornado with the wing swept back, but it looks a bit more like a Typhoon, stroke MiG, and whatever the Yankee one that looks similar is. But anyway, what we've got then, so 20 quid, 153 parts. As I say, the A model has changed to the Stealth Bomber, and the original A model is the one behind there. And we've got a selection of models on the front, not all of them of course, but the selection. Helicopter, microlight, which I like that, I really do like that. There are a few 1-bolt fixings which I was already pre-warned about, which, you know, is not good, but the model as a whole is a quirky, not quirky, it's a little bit different, I suppose. Microlights have been around for years now. I mean, I don't know, probably as long as I am old, so that must be 21, no, 40 odd years. Seaplane, another jet, and on the back, let's see what we've got there. We've got another picture of the stealth bomber, another jet there. There's another picture of the seaplane, helicopter, the jet that's on the front. There's the microlight, the original A model, the fighter jet there. I can see what that is from here. What we got there? Oh, well, that's smart. A drone. I never really took much notice of that one before on the other box. So the drone there, you might say an oversized version of the starter kit model. But this is really, really, I suppose older folks will take more notice of it, but the weather vane here, that is fantastic. We've got a little biplane on the top and the arrow and the stand there. Now I'm going to bring that closer towards you. Hope this thing will focus. Sometimes it struggles. I'll come in slowly and hope it stays as it is. See, it's switched to macro, so you should have a chance to see it. So there you are. That is brilliant. Whoever designed that needs a pat on the back, or perhaps a gold medal. Something anyway. Different. I like different. I like lots of things. I like lots of cars and road vehicles, but I like to see a change. I like some aircraft, and I suppose like most people, Concorde is beautiful. Spitfire is like, it's just like there's nothing else on the planet ever like it before or since. Hurricane, Lancaster, But obviously there's reasonings behind that, which we won't go into all that. But it is 75 years this year, the Battle of Britain. So then, some interesting models. There's a couple fairly similar. The first 5 I've made, as I say, I will go into them at a later date. Right then, the set itself, as you can see, like the 3-model multi-model set, you can see that video there, sorry, the 3-model Meccano Maker System set, it comes with the multi-models instructions. Now, I wouldn't have done that. I can see a point to on economics using the old instructions. Maybe that'll change as more gets sold, but having, I don't know how many of the multi-models 10s I've got in stock, the aviation ones. In stock, I sound like a shop. I've certainly made 5. This is possibly the 6th, or it might be the 11th, I can't remember. But of course I'm due to make the other models when I get round to it. So we've got the multi-models branded instructions. And I've already noticed this. The first model in the instructions is, you can see there, the jet, the fighter jet. I think it's the second model. It's yes. The second model is the what is now the A model. There you go. So a flick through, we've got, it's exactly the same looking as it. I haven't compared, you know, side by side, but we've got the very clear, nice parts list in the back. So that looks the same. Nuts and bolts and a few smalls. Tools, slightly bigger parts. A bit excessive on the packaging there. I mean, really, you could have perhaps, although the nuts and bolts are heavy, you might have damaged some of these parts here, the smaller parts. Perhaps what you could have done is heated it up and sealed it across the middle there, and put the nuts in there, nuts and bolts in there, and the other smalls. Maybe that would save money, I don't know. Might save money on packaging, who knows. And then we've got a very excessive bag here. If I recall, it's exactly the same with the original multi-model branded ones. So there we are with the bag of, shall we say, main parts. Now I'm going to open this bag, and we're going to have a look at the finish in the flesh. Grab a couple of parts. Here we are. Happen to be the flexible plates. Now I had heard these were going to be gloss, and as you can see, they are sort of matte satiny. And I'll just get that other model again. It's flown off somewhere. Oh, here it is. There we are. There we are. That's the finish on the original multi-model branded sets, and that is. I'll get used to this one day. That is the new part, and if I put them on top of each other, you can see there is no difference. So that hasn't changed. I ain't got a clue why. Is it because of parts to use up? Who knows. The trouble is, I don't want to buy too many of these sets just to see if there's anything changed. I bought this one to see if anything had changed, and I might need one anyway. You know, I forget how many of the others I've got. I might have ever bought the 5 previously, and now this might be the 6th. I'll have to have a dig through. I have got the instructions for the other ones. That weather vane, I love that weather vane. It's it may be considered old-fashioned, but it's different. Sometimes I'll get inspired to build a model quite easily. The helicopter in the 3-model multi-model set, the latest incarnation, of course, the same with it's the same version as the new Maker System branded set. That inspired me to do the jet ski. A slightly old-fashioned looking jet ski, but that come quite easily. And I've got another set on the go, and I'm looking at it. Nothing inspired in the instructions. Nothing inspires me to make anything in instructions. And I'm thinking about this and thinking about that, and nothing's happened. I've gone on to something else. So from that point of view, you know, 20 quid a time, and okay, you can get bargains and that. I might buy another set in a couple of months just to see. I suppose because we've got the date on these sets now again, because these are the French made sets, and I must check perhaps some of the starter sets, see what the date things are on those. But the date's down here, and this one is dated. This is dated March 2015, end of March 31st of March 2015, which is a surprise. It's that early, really. 'Cause it was probably only about 6 weeks, maybe 2 months before that the 10 model, multi-model aviation set come out, or flight set as it was called. So there we go, folks. Nothing changed at all. I think that's safe to say. Same number of parts, same models, different A model set. I'll plonk that one down there for now. As again, there's the original incarnation, and of course this and the 3 model being the first sets by the new ownership. So there we are, 20 quid, not a bad set at all. Finish, if I go on the sets I've already made, generally okay. I think the usual problems with the, not problems, a bit thin on the nickel, bit of staining on the nickel perhaps, but I'll have to go into that at a later date. The nice thing about this plane is that when I make, nice to have the smaller sets to make on my brakes at work because they fit in my locker, but when you finish the set, I mean, while I'm at it I might as well waffle a bit more. This set, although there's a few parts loose in the box, so I'll just pick those up. After making this model, there's quite a few parts left, and of course I make notes as I go. There's the notes, and this one is, well, I'll write a bit scrawly, but really on the whole it's probably no more than about one side of A4, but it's worked out about 1 3/4. So that tells you there ain't many issues with the model, because there'll be a lot more than that. The instructions are, well, I say there is a slight difference with the instructions. Now I've got one out. Not difference in. There ain't a lot in it, and this has been in dark, so it hasn't been. It hasn't faded at all. It does appear that the new instructions, which are these, are slightly more colourful, the colour a bit brighter. The easiest way to show you this is the new one, and look at the 10 model symbol there. The 10 is quite dark, but if you look at the old one there, the 10 is edging towards grey as a whole. Not much in it, and if you look at the models themselves, the model instructions, it's more difficult to see that. It's just slightly, ever so slightly. But as I say, the beauty of this set, or this model, was when I've finished it, usually I put them in a carrier bag, or if it's too big I have to put them in a box. I take a box in special, which makes it more awkward. But with this model, just get the bag of parts out the way. It fits nicely in its own box, and there ain't many models you can say that once they're made they will fit in the box with no bits sticking out or the box being deformed. There we are. Oh, there you go. So anyway, I should cut the waffling out. I know. There you go, folks. So that's the 10 model set. We've still got 2 more to go.